Hello, everyone, and happy holidays. I don't know what you celebrate, if you celebrate anything, but you are all welcome here in the wings of the Tonemachia, Master of Minds and of Men. And you are welcome to Anti-Life Review. So we finish up our Marvel holiday specials today, looking at the Spider-Man holiday special in 1995, and back to the regular Marvel holiday specials of 1996. I was pretty disappointed last week, so I'm hoping for a little more positivity today. So hit subscribe, and let's get into it. 1995 Spider-Man Holiday Special. Story number 1 is Scarlet Spider, A Matter of Faith by Glenn Greenberg and Kevin Maguire. Ben Reilly saves a woman named Jenny from jumping off a building. She is trying to off herself. He talks to her to try to convince her life is worth living, but he's distracted by some generic bad guy with fire powers. During the brawl, Jenny saves a man's life from some falling debris. The bad guy is beaten, and though Jenny's poor situation hasn't changed, she thinks she wants to find a life that's worth living. Story number 2, The Black Cat in The Cat Who Stole Christmas by Carl Bolyers and Chris Gardner. Black Cat steals toys from a group of people who stole these toys from an orphanage. She returns them. Story number 3, Venom in The Venom Clause by Eric Fine and Javier Saltriz. Eddie Brock helps a Santa that was mugged. Well, he decides that's not going to happen again, because when the Santa is attacked by the same group of thugs, Venom shows up, but before killing the men, he is asked to just get them arrested by a helpful older woman. He swings away, singing happily with a Santa cap on his head. Story number 4, last story of this issue, Johnny Storm in A Merry Christmas, Mr. Storm by Charlie Finch, Robert Brown, and Joshua Hood. Spider-Man and Johnny Storm exchange some gifts. They are old roommates and friends, but honestly this is so ugly it's almost impossible to read. Very distracting. There is one more thing the 95 issue brings, and it's a memoriam to the then dead Aunt May. I don't know if she's dead now. She's back, she's there, she's whatever, it's comics. The 1996 Marvel Holiday Special, back to the Marvel one. I guess just doing Spider-Man 1 didn't really work out. Story number 1, Spider-Man in Not a Creature Was Stirring by Mark Waid and Pat O'Liffey. J. Jonah Jameson is passing out gifts as Santa, and Spider-Man is keeping an eye on him when a roof collapses on the two of them. Well, they end up bonding a little bit until a rescue helicopter comes, along with the live news, which catches the two palling around, much to Jonah's dismay. Story number 2, Kitty Pryde in Unto Others by Effin Skokolnik and Josh Hood. Kitty Pryde meets a little girl in an old church that had been attacked and set ablaze some time ago. The girl is looking for a locket her father gave her before he died in the fire. Talk about the injustice both their people face, as the young girl is black and Kitty is Jewish. In the end, she finds the girl's locket and they share a tender hug. Story number 3, The Silver Surfer in Hark, The Herald by George Perez and Rick Leonardi. The surfer accidentally upsets a young girl when she asks him to put the Star of Bethlehem atop her tree. He says he's never heard of such a star. But desiring to know why she was so upset, he roams the stars, looking for reason, for facts, finding only vague myths of a star that comes to herald miracles. In the end, he returns to Earth unsure, but he apologizes to that little girl and makes her star shine bright atop the tree. He declares that sometimes faith is more important. Story number 4, The Rawhide Kid in Ambush at Angel Rock by Carl Kessel and Pat Zerker. The Rawhide Kid deals with some wild, wild west nonsense when some bad guys have complicated technology, but it belongs to an alien who wants it back. The kid defends the bad guy, earning some amount of respect from the alien, who takes off. And this connects to Christmas somehow. Then there's a Stark there, too. And finally, last story of the week and for the holiday specials, unfortunately, The X-Men in Humbug by Tom DeFalco and Josh Hood. Wolverine doesn't like the holidays. Shocker. Cable, Cyclops, and Jean give gifts like a family. Storm makes it snow for a guy selling trees. Iceman impresses kids with ice sculptors in the park. Bishop buys a young girl a present, and he watches as she gives it to her younger sister. Alright, let's talk about these like we usually do. 1995, we'll start with the Scarlet Spider one. So it's actually pretty good. I was concerned with the suicide plotline would get really depressing, but it didn't. It kept hopeful. Not too hopeful. Jenny doesn't think, oh, everything in my life is fine now. She knows shit sucks sometimes, but she has resolved herself to see other avenues in which she can be happy. And the art was solid, too, so yeah. We went to the Black Cat one. It was fine, no dialogue, art was okay. Nice, simple, and had a good holiday spirit tone to it. Venom, I like this one a lot. The art was solid. Venom was a lot of fun here as that classic kind of anti-hero type. The reason Santa was being harassed is vague. But it's really not all that important. Venom menacing people is always going to be satisfying unless it's on the big screen, apparently. And to the Johnny Storm one, the art was ugly. Way too bright, off-putting, busy and vague at the same time. Johnny Storm looks like a Crimson Chin from the Fairly Odd Parents, I believe it was. There are lots of things going on in the margins that I don't know why. There's lots of drawings in the margins. Everyone is off-model. Hurt my eyes. Bad story. To 96, starting with Spider-Man. This had the potential to be good, but ended up being kind of a sloppy mess. It wasn't bad, really. The art was fine, and the story was okay. I like the concept, though. To the Kitty Pryde one. This one, while the art was very brown and boring, was a nice story. It had some good bones on it. Kitty and the girl bonding over some shared trauma they experienced was deeply sad, but it was nice for them to discuss it openly and find some solace in each other. The Silver Surfer one, this was my favorite of this week. Excellent. The art was good, it was sweet, fun, sincere, and kind of funny with the Surfer being so absent-minded, he didn't quite grip what was going on. This is the kind of story I like in a holiday anthology. Rawhide Kid was fine, silly, stupid. Tony Stark's ancestor was here, which wasn't very interesting. Art was mediocre. I don't really get this one. The X-Men is the last one. They looked terrible. Wolverine looked like his hair was glued to him. Everyone's face looked like cat-like. Hard to say. It makes Stone look like she had 4 breasts. The story was kind of sweet, but it was just a collection of nice moments and with really bad art. Overall, 95, everything save the Johnny Storm story was fine and did have something to bring to the holiday spirit. Hope, kindness, forgiveness, family. It was good and a very sweet holiday special. Like I said, save that Johnny Storm one. 96, this was really a mixed bag. It had some very good stuff. I think the Surfer one and the story of the Kitty one were very good. The art overall on this whole issue was really bad. Off point almost everywhere, and it hurt the feel of it. It was distracting and just made for an unwelcome experience, though there was some heartfelt moments. Well, we made it through all of these holiday comics without meeting any ghosts, so we must be doing something right. First off, I want to say thank you for being here, for listening, for supporting. I hope all of you had a good month of December. I hope you hit that subscribe button. I hope you come back next week. For the month of January, I'll be looking at things that I have nostalgia for. Not the comics themselves, but the subject matter of the comics. As we start with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers meets the Justice League. Well, this has been the Total Micaiah, Master of Minds and of Men. Thank you so much for everything, and goodbye.